Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're delving into the wisdom within Raising Mentally Strong Kids by Amen MD Daniel G. and Charles Fay. Raising Mentally Strong Kids explores the fascinating intersection of neuroscience and parenting, revealing how everyday interactions shape a child's developing brain. Before we begin, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you want to keep receiving the knowledge of book summaries about health, wealth, love, psychology, and much more. Don't be shy about dropping your book suggestions for us to summarize. Also, you can use this video as an audiobook summary. Let's grow and succeed together. What's in it for me? Harness the power of neuroscience to raise more resilient and confident kids. You want the best for your kids, and that includes helping them develop into mentally strong, resilient individuals. And there's no better place to start than the experiences they have as children. Neuroscience has revealed fascinating insights about how our experiences shape the very structure of our minds, from infancy through adolescence. It turns out, the way you parent and the environment you create for your children have a profound impact on their neural connections, influencing everything from their emotional regulation to their ability to bounce back from setbacks. By understanding the science behind mental strength, you can unlock powerful strategies to help your kids thrive. In this summary, we'll explore the world of neuroscience and its relationship to good parenting. You'll discover practical tips and techniques, grounded in cutting-edge research, that you can start using today to nurture your children's developing minds. So, get ready to learn how small, everyday moments can have a big impact on building mentally strong kids. Nurturing brain development. Picture this. Your teenager comes home from school, throws their backpack on the floor, and slumps into the couch with a frustrated sigh. They mutter to themselves about how stupid they are and how they'll never understand math. As a parent, your heart sinks. You want to help, but you're not sure how. This is where the neuroscience of mental strength comes in. You see, your child's brain is like a complex network of highways, constantly being shaped by their experiences. Every challenge they face, every success they celebrate, is literally molding the structure of their mind. That's because a brain is more like a garden than a machine. The neural connections are paths that either grow or wither based on whether or not they're being used. When your child practices a new skill or learns from a mistake, for instance, it's like pruning and nurturing those pathways, helping them grow stronger over time. This concept is called neuroplasticity, the incredible ability of our brains to change and adapt throughout our lives. It means that no matter what challenges your child faces, their mind has the potential to grow and overcome them. But here's the thing. As a parent, you have a tremendous influence over which paths get reinforced in your child's brain. Every time you encourage them to keep trying after a setback, you're strengthening their resilience. When you teach them to take a deep breath and talk through their feelings, you're helping them build emotional regulation skills. And when you create a safe, supportive environment at home, you're giving their brain the ideal conditions to thrive. It's not always easy, of course. There are times when your child feels like giving up, or when they're convinced they're not good enough. But by understanding the neuroscience behind mental strength, you can be there to guide them through those moments. For example, let's go back to that teenager frustrated with their math performance. Instead of simply telling them to try harder, you might reframe the challenge as an opportunity for growth. You could break down a problem together, for instance, and look for new approaches, all while reinforcing the idea that every time they tackle a problem they're actually growing new connections in their brain. But it's not just about academics. The same principles apply to social challenges, emotional struggles, and any other obstacles your child may face. In the next chapter, we'll dive into how the brain's development influences every aspect of a child's behavior, especially in the developmental years from birth to their mid-20s. Foster a growth mindset. So, neuroplasticity helps developing brains grow important new connections, and as a parent, you can guide this development by reframing challenges in an age-appropriate way. Remember, it's not about shielding them from all of life's challenges. Instead, it's about equipping them with the tools they need to face those challenges head-on and grow from them. One of the most powerful things you can do is foster a growth mindset in your child. This means helping them see challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, rather than as threats to their self-worth. When your child is struggling with something, avoid labeling them as smart or talented. Instead, praise their effort, their persistence, and their willingness to try new strategies. For example, if your child is learning to ride a bike and keeps falling off, you might praise their determination and effort. Pointing out how they keep getting back on and trying again, and emphasizing that this persistence is how they'll learn and improve can be an incredibly powerful lesson. This kind of feedback helps your child understand that their abilities aren't fixed. They can always grow and develop with practice. Another important strategy is teaching your child emotional regulation skills. This is the ability to manage their emotions in healthy ways even when they're feeling overwhelmed or upset. One of the most important ways to do this is by modeling these skills yourself. When you're feeling frustrated or angry, stop and take a deep breath, and then talk through your feelings out loud. This shows your child that it's okay to have big emotions and that there are healthy ways to cope with them, like speaking them out loud. It is also helpful to teach your child specific, age-appropriate techniques, like deep breathing or counting to 10, to help them calm down in the moment. Even in adults, the ability to calm the nervous system in stressful situations can shield the body and mind from stress. Of course, in developing children these techniques will take time, but the more they practice these skills, the stronger those neural pathways for emotional regulation will become. Building resilience is another crucial piece of the mental strength puzzle. This is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep going even when things get tough. One way to foster resilience in your child is by letting them experience small, age-appropriate challenges and encouraging them to problem solve on their own. If your preschooler is struggling to zip up their jacket, for instance, resist the urge to do it for them right away. Instead, give them a few moments to try it themselves. If they're still having trouble, you can offer verbal guidance or show them the first step, but let them complete the task on their own. These small victories build confidence and teach your child that they can handle challenges. Finally, don't underestimate the power of nurturing strong relationships and social connections. When your child feels loved, supported, and connected to others, they have a solid foundation from which to explore the world and face challenges. Make time for family bonding activities, encourage your child to make friends and be a good friend in return, and create a home environment where they feel safe expressing their feelings and asking for help. Remember, building mental strength is an ongoing process. It's not about achieving a specific goal or milestone. Instead, it's about consistently reinforcing those positive pathways in your child's brain, day after day, year after year. Age-appropriate is key. Because the brain is developing rapidly in the first 25 years of life, what works for an enraged or frustrated toddler is unlikely to work with a 12 or 20-year-old. So adaptive parenting is crucial. Let's explore a bit more with a practical example. Imagine your child is working on a puzzle. It's a bit more challenging than they thought it would be, and they're starting to get frustrated. How do you respond? If your child is a toddler, you might sit with them and offer gentle encouragement. Point out the progress they've already made and help them break down the problem into smaller steps. For example, you could draw their attention to the corner pieces they've already found or suggest looking for the pieces with straight edges next. This approach helps them develop problem-solving skills alongside persistence. Fast forward a few years, and your child is now in elementary school. They're facing a similar challenge, but this time it's a much more complex puzzle. Your approach would need to be a bit different. You can still offer some encouragement, but you should also ask questions that help them think through the problem on their own. For instance, you could ask what patterns they notice in the picture and how they can help find the right pieces. This helps them develop critical thinking and independence. As your child enters the tween and teen years, the puzzle might take the form of a challenging school project or a complex social situation. At this stage, your role is less about direct guidance and more about being a supportive sounding board. Encourage them to talk through their thoughts and feelings, and help them brainstorm potential solutions. Help them build self-awareness by reflecting back to them what you hear about their emotions and reactions without judgment. This helps them develop emotional regulation and problem-solving skills. No matter your child's age, one of the most important things you can do is create an environment that supports their mental health. This means providing a sense of structure and predictability, while also allowing for flexibility and autonomy as they grow. It means encouraging open, honest communication and being a safe haven when they need to talk through tough emotions. It also means taking care of your own mental health. Children learn by watching, and when they see you modeling healthy coping strategies and self-care, it reinforces those positive pathways in their own brains. So don't be afraid to let your child see you taking a few deep breaths after a stressful day or prioritizing exercise and hobbies that bring you joy. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to raising mentally strong kids. Every child is unique, and what works for one may not work for another. The key is to stay attuned to your child's individual needs and to approach each challenge with empathy, patience, and a willingness to adapt your strategies as they grow. Challenges and misconceptions. Raising kids is a journey, one that presents many unforeseen challenges. Sadly, those challenges can be compounded by some common misconceptions about parenting. One misconception is that mental strength means never feeling anxious, sad, or frustrated. In reality, mentally strong individuals experience a full range of emotions. They just have the tools to manage those emotions in healthy ways. So if your child is going through a tough time, don't feel like you've failed as a parent. Instead, see it as an opportunity to help them build coping skills that will serve them well throughout their lives. Imagine that your child comes home from school feeling left out and lonely. They confide in you that they ate lunch alone and no one wanted to play with them at recess. Your first instinct might be to try to fix the problem, to call the school or arrange a playdate with a classmate. But consider for a moment what might happen if you help them work through their emotions instead. You might sit with them and validate their feelings, echoing how painful it must have been for them to feel left out. Then, you could brainstorm coping strategies together. Maybe your child could bring a favorite book to read at lunch or practice conversation starters to use with potential new friends. The goal isn't to eliminate the difficult emotion, but to help your child develop the resilience to face it and the problem-solving skills to find solutions. Another challenge you might face is the temptation to shield your child from all obstacles and discomfort. After all, it's natural to want to protect the ones we love. However, overprotection can actually hinder a child's development of mental strength. Imagine your child is nervous about an upcoming math test. They've been studying hard, but they're still anxious about their performance. You might be tempted to tell them how smart and talented they are. But this kind of reassurance, while well-intentioned, can backfire. It puts pressure on your child to live up to that expectation and doesn't give them the tools to manage their anxiety. Instead, you could help them reframe their thinking. Remind them of the times they've faced challenges in the past and come out on the other side. Help them focus on the effort they've put in, rather than the potential outcome. You could remind them of how hard they've been studying. No matter what happens on the test, I'm proud of the work you've put in. This kind of approach helps your child build confidence in their ability to handle challenges, rather than relying on external validation. Finally, remember that building mental strength is a lifelong process, for both your child and yourself. There will be ups and downs, successes and setbacks. But by staying grounded in the principles of neuroscience, and approaching each challenge with empathy and a growth mindset, you're giving your child the foundation they need to thrive. And don't forget to extend that same compassion and growth mindset to yourself. Parenting is a learning experience, and you don't have to have all the answers. When you model self-reflection, adaptability, and resilience in your own life, you're teaching your child those same invaluable skills. Final words. Neuroscience has revealed that the way you parent shapes your child's developing brain, influencing their emotional regulation, resilience, and mental strength. By fostering a growth mindset, teaching age-appropriate coping strategies, and creating a supportive environment, you can help your child build the neural connections they need to thrive. Meanwhile, it is essential to confront common misconceptions, like the belief that mental strength means never struggling, to avoid overprotecting your child and impeding their development. Ultimately, by staying grounded in the principles of neuroscience, modeling healthy coping strategies, and extending compassion to both your child and yourself, you can nurture the development of a mentally strong, resilient individual. Thanks for being part of our insightful voyage. If our summary piqued your interest, we encourage you to dive into the complete book for a deeper understanding. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content if you're new here, and share it with others who might find it valuable. Keep on reading, discovering, and advancing until our next adventure.